Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. And today in this video we are going to take a look at how to track this kind of surface inside Nuke. As you can see, I have a disk footage from Action VFX. So they recently released some free practice footages, so I downloaded this footage from there. In this one we will see how to track the surface and add a quick patch here. So it will feel like there is a cut and the blood is going through and it will look awesome. In the end result it will something look like this, as you can see. So in the end it will something look like this, and in the end if I play, so as you can see the blood is going on, and you can check that file. I will provide this whole script so you can check that, but the main thing is we need to see how we can track this part, and we will using Nuke obviously, and no other plugins and nothing. It's just a Nuke. We are using Smart Vector and some other techniques to do that, so let's see how to do that. Okay, so as you can see, this is the whole script for this comp. As you can see, from the top to bottom, in the end I am doing a dark grain and just outputting this comp. So let's see from the top, and then we will go through the whole script and see how I comp this patch here and how I track this thing, and I will share with you how to track this kind of see this kind of shaky footage, and let's see. So as you can see, first of all, as I said in the beginning, this is a Smart Vector track. So first thing you need to do, you just need to render a Smart Vector. So as you can see, I already rendered the Smart Vector. If you check the above, I have put a crop because I don't want to Smart Vector calculate entire frame, this frame here. So this entire frame, I just want Smart Vector to calculate this much area, and once you add a crop, you have to add another crop to remove this bounding lines. So I added another crop to fill the whole area, and then I did a mask, and anywhere the finger is crossing, I basically did a stencil. So as you can see, I have this roto, and if the finger is crossing, I basically did that stencil, and I then render the Smart Vector. To check how my Smart Vector is going, I use checkerboard, and I using the vector distort, just normal vector distort, the basic keying, and then in this one, then if I play, you will see how this is sticking. This is the first step you have to do. Just run the Smart Vector and check if anything is not going well. You have to check it, because sometimes the finger is very close to the object and it will warp the track basically. So you have to check that, and once you think this is a very good place, I mean it will not perfectly accurate, we have to see how we're going to make this accurate as possible. So as you can see, and before doing this Smart Vector thing, if you check the above, I have this footage, okay, and actually before the Smart Vector thing, what I did a track. So as you can see, I have 4 tracks here, and I basically track all these 4 markers. You can track one marker as well, because what we are basically doing a stabilize. So as you can see, if I view this one, so I export this match move and I invert this one. So basically now this footage is the stabilize mode. As you can see, it's center in here, and I stabilize only rotation and the translation. As you can see, there is no scale, because I don't want scale to be stabilized, because that will be carry with the Smart Vector. So I did a normal stabilize. This is not accurate, and you don't want accurate, because rest of the thing will Smart Vector handle. The idea behind this thing is basically, if you stabilize this one, Smart Vector will do a less work on calculating this rotation and the translation. Then it will focus on this warping thing. So all the vectors will try to match the warping animation here, what we have here in the footage. So that is the idea. If you got any footage, just see the motion, and if you try to stabilize, just do the stabilize, and then you can do your Smart Vector if the shot is required. In this shot is required to do a Smart Vector, because the surface is warping. It's not a flat surface, so it's a skin part, so it should warp in the all directions. So as you can see, and it's also changing the perspective, so that's why we need to do stabilize. So the Smart Vector don't need to calculate all this translation and the rotation thing. It will only calculate whatever the motion we have in this skin area. So this is exactly what I did. I stabilize this one, then on that stabilize I run the Smart Vector. just for the checking purpose, I did the constant, I did the checkerboard and the vector distort, and I did a simple key to mask out this part. I'm using my mix keyer. You can find the link down below. So I did this, and then in the stabilize I can see it's going very well. So once I happy whatever I have in the smart vector, then in the bottom need to remove all these markers. For that, as you can see, I'm using the stabilize also here. As you can see, I have this Gridwarp tracker here. I will show you the Gridwarp tracker quickly what I did. This is the Gridwarp tracker I have, and as you can see, if you remember my previous video, the zombie comp tutorial, in that one I am also using Gridwarp tracker and a smart vector thing. So this is the same idea here, but in this one we are stabilizing, and then we are doing the smart vector and Gridwarp, and then we are doing match move again. For the marker remove, I did the same thing. If I show you, as you can see, I have a Gridwarp tracker here. So I track this one, and if you remember how to do match move and stabilize, we have a from and to. As you can see, if I need to do stabilize, so if I show you, so if you remember, so this stabilize is only stabilizing the X, Y and a rotation. I mean translation and rotation only. But for the warping, what I did, I use Gridwarp tracker to stabilize that. And once I did, now you will see this thing is completely stabilized. As you can see, it's not changing the position, not the rotation, and not the warping and the perspective. Everything is stuck in this view basically. As you can see, little bit is moving, so we can solve this, but in general, as you can see, it's completely solid stabilized. After that, what I did to remove markers, I basically did transform mask. As you can see, bunch of rotos and transform mask. You can check that how I did that. And after that, we need to reverse whatever we did here. I mean this stabilization and this stabilization. So first thing we need to invert basically. So the last thing is this. So we need to copy paste. Basically I track this with the smart vector, and then I place a copy here. So I have an original copy here. Okay, but you can use this one also. Just copy paste here, and in this one we make sure we have a keyframe from. In this from section we have for full keyframe, and in the two we don't need a keyframe, we just need a one. And then it's basically doing a reverse operation, and then we need to just copy paste this match move and just uncheck the invert button, and now this part is again match move, and then I basically merge with the plate. As you can see, so it's basically doing a stabilization, do your stuff, and match move again with the help of 2D track and help of smart vector and a Gridwarp tracker. So this is the basic idea of doing this kind of comp task. In the bottom, if you check, I created this patch. This patch I created using bunch of online images. So you can check how I did this one. So as you can see, this part, this and this, all these things are just a patch, and I combined and made a complete patch using this thing. If I go down from here, as you can see, this is the complete patch. I will quickly walk through, and then we will go in the detail. And there are some black match and all that. And here, as you can see, I have this same setup here, Gridwarp tracker and this transform match move. So first thing, this patch is static. So first thing what I did, I add this warping match move in this one. As you can see, it's basically warping according to the skin area, and then I add this XY and a rotation animation. So now it's basically totally match move with the plate. And then I added a motion blur using the same match move, transform match move. I use this one, and I add this motion blur 2D. If you really want to know about all the motion blur in a Nuke, I have a motion blur tutorial on my channel. You can check that. I will explain every motion blur tool in the Nuke, how you can use this one. I also explain this motion blur 2D. So I'm using this motion blur 2D to add the motion blur, and then I remove all the channels here, and then it's basically merging on the comp. I created a mask here, so for disable, as you can see, the mask is created here, and then I merge it here. And in the bottom, obviously I added a dust grain to regrain this stuff, because if you check on the top, I have this plate here, and I denoise this one with using Nuke denoiser, and then I'm using denoise plate on my entire comp setup. and in the end I'm regraining this entire plate again using plate and the denoise. If you don't know about how to use this kind of shuffle, I have a tutorial also about how to use channels in Nuke, so you can check that one also. And that's it. Basically this is the overview of this comp. Let's go in the detail and see how I did this basically. Okay, so this patch I will share with you some of the trick what I did. If I show you this output quickly, if you check this stabilize one, you will see this patch is changing perspective also. It's changing the perspective and it's also changing the lighting. It's not a 2D patch. It's feel like there is a depth inside the skin area, so you can see all the muscles and everything. So to create this kind of effect, what I have here, I have a roto which I created. If I show you this roto, see this roto I have, which is basically matching with this patch. So I have this roto, and you can check the entire script what I did. So I will show you some of the key points what I did here, and this is the patch I have. And as you can see, I'm using eye transform here and this transform match move. And if you ask me where this is coming from, so if you go down, we have this Gridwarp tracker, right? In this Gridwarp tracker, we can basically output a 2D translation. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to just select any point, right click, and you can export a transform bake. So this is exactly what I did here. So we have this patch here, and then I did a transform mask, and I add this mask, control mask here to this alpha and my image. And in the transform mask, as you can see, the x and y translation is linked with this tracker. So whatever it will do, it will affect here. But if you check, if you just click on this line and go to the expression, and as you can see, so it's basically linked with this one. Okay, and in here I think I reduced the amount. Let me check. No, so it's basically doing an inverse. So as you can see now, if I play from here, as you can see, there is some depth. If I show you, let's play this and see. Okay, so as you can see, there are a depth. It's not a static. See, this part is moving, and it moving inverse. I mean, if the body is going this direction, this part will go opposite direction. So it will feel like there is a parallax. So this is what we need. And other thing I did here, I have this noise pattern here, which I animated from this direction, as you can see, very slowly. And then I did a mask and all that stuff. So I just want this need to be feel like there is something blood or something is flowing on the muscle area, as you can see. So it's basically doing stuff like this. I'm using my node to do a distortion, as you can see. So you can check that out also. And then I did a primal. So it's very subtle, you're not gonna see, as you can see, but it's there. The lighting change, as you can see, there is a lot of lighting change is happening, as you can see. So for that, I'm using this patch again, and I have this node. This is my node, normal make. So this will basically make a normal map. And then I'm using this normal rotate from the Nuke survival toolkit. And again, I'm using this match move data to do that lighting shift basically. As you can see in the vertical, if I show you this animation, as you can see, it basically link with this x. So as you can see, it will always move in a x direction, as you can see, and based on that we will get this alpha. So this is very good technique when you are doing a 2D relighting. So as you can see, now I have this animated alpha based on this match mode data. Then I basically simply use in a grid, as you can see, 2 times. So then it will give me this kind of depth. And then I layer all the layers on top, as you can see, this one, this patch also. And in the bottom, as you can see, one more thing about this plate. If you check this plate from this first frame and this last frame, and in between, if you check, this plate is going darker. As you can see, this is very dark compared to this frame, and in some frame here is also very dark, and in some frame is going darker and lighter. So to add a proper light flicker, basically I use this AP color sample. If you don't know about this AP color sampler, I will put a link. You can watch the official tutorial about how to use this AP color. So it basically give me a light flicker animation based on my plate. So if you come here, as you can see, it's matching the proper light animation. And then I did in the end I did a black match. Expose this up and zoom in a bit. You will see it's very small, but it's doing the job. So in the bottom, and then I did the match move and all the other stuff here, and the motion blur is need to match properly. So in your motion blur frame, and you can crank up the setting. So as you can see in my one, I set it 2. If I set 1, so for my taste it's very low, so I increase it to, then it will look good in every frame. Let's quickly see the in-depth about this tracking thing. So this is the Gridwarp we have here. So I'm just copy pasting here and here. Okay, so this is the original Gridwarp tracker I have. So I'm just quickly connect to this plate here and show you the detail video about how to do that. Okay, I'm taking a new Gridwarp tracker just to show you. Once you do your stabilize in a 2D, you just need your Gridwarp tracker like this. Okay, and first thing, just connect your vector. I'm connecting vector here like this, and this is my grid. Just use this option here and draw your box. So you have a grid, and change this background to screen so you can see the full screen. And the next step you have to do, just click on this so the from and to will lock. Otherwise, if you move, as you can see, they are warping, so we don't want now. So I can place here, and I can division. I can, for now I just make 2, so I can place this properly in a shape. So I'm just drawing, I'm just aligning my spline. Okay, something like this. Now then I increase this division, maybe 4. Let's align this quickly. Yeah, like that, something like that. Once you set your thing, then you can select any of this grid, and in the top, as you can see, there is the tracks. Just hit, and as you can see, based on your smart vector, it will do a tracking. So what's the point of using Gridwarp tracker if we can use directly smart vector with the help of vector distort? So there is a very good advantage using Gridwarp tracker is control. Let me show you what I mean. So let's track this much. So let's see. This advantage of using smart vector directly, you can't control if something is not going well. But with this technique, you can control everything. I mean, if the track is not going well, you can adjust it. See, I tracked it this much, and this is now track done. So I'm using this same patch. Okay, and I'm just removing and just connecting the source to this one. So I place it my Gridwarp to this patch. Okay, now I'm just quickly merge this one and see. So now I merge this one, and it will look like this. If I play, there is nothing is going on. So in order to do a match move, what we have to do, we just first need to unlink this one, and I guess in the from we need to remove all keyframes. So if you see this box, just click it, and you can see all the keyframe is gone, and just click add one keyframe just to reference. So this is our reference, and now if you play, as you can see, it's match moving. You just need to set this to black again, and if you reduce the opacity like this, then you can see how this is going. As you can see, now it's match move and it's looking very good. So what we can do, we can adjust this one. So as you can see, let's see in this frame, if you check this first frame and this frame, as you can see, this thing is not exactly on the same place, as you can see. So what we can do, in this Gridwarp tracker, there is a very nice feature. You can add multiple grids. So if you right click, as you can see, adjust grid. If you add this one, there is one more grid, and in this grid you don't have any keyframes. So in the 2, you can see this match move keyframes, but in this one we don't have any keyframes, which means this grid is linked to this grid. So you can adjust this one, and it will indirectly affect this grid. It will basically interpolate to this animation entirely. If I add one keyframe from the first frame, I go to the 50, and as you can see, this is the color of this grid. So I can click and I can adjust how I want. And as you can see, if I on this, turn this on, as you can see, that much adjustment I did. And while playing, as you can see, it will not look like a jump. As you can see, it will properly do the match move. And if I in between, if I off, as you can see, it basically interpolating from this keyframe to this keyframe. So that's how you can adjust. Basically, if something is fall, you can add adjust grid, and you can basically do your correction in this stabilize mode. As I said, this is the stabilize mode. This need to be connected here. I mean, this is the plate, and once you do your correction in the stabilize, you can just switch to this live plate, and then for this one you can just copy this match move and paste it here. And in this one you just need to invert this one. Now it will match more according to the plate. We did the correction and then we did a match move. So this is very nice and very powerful technique to do a match move in a nuke. If you have a surface like this, like a warping surface and everything, and you have a very fast motion, something like this, you just need to identify the motion. So in this one I have a two motion basically. One is the XY and the rotation and scale, and the second motion we have this warping motion, which is this organic surface motion. Stabilize one by one. I stabilize this XY and rotation, and then I stabilize this warping thing, and in between I did my work, and then I reverse this back. So for the patch you can do the same. As you can see, for the match move I did this organic match move first, and then this XYZ match move in the second, and then combine and do your composite, and you have a pretty nice match move all over the place. So I have a grid, so which I can show you. So this is the grid I have. It's basically showing us how this match move is looking like. So I already posted this on my LinkedIn and I got a very nice response. So in this one, as you can see, this stabilize, how this stabilize look like and how this match move is look like. So as you can see with the motion blur, I also apply motion blur to check the alignment and check the motion blur amount also. So you can easily see this, how this is very powerful and very useful technique. As you can see, it's warping a lot, and anytime you feel this track is not going well, I basically check. If you check this Gridwarp tracker, I have one adjustment grid, and if you check, I have a few keyframes here. Which in this one I am basically adjusting the track, as you can see, in few frames. So smart detector is not perfect, it's not 100% accurate. You need to make them accurate by using other tools like this one. This is the way I approach this kind of shot, doing a match move and a cleanup stuff and all that stuff like this. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment, and I will provide this file on my Patreon, so you can download this entire script and all the stuff what I did here. Please let me know in the comment your thoughts about this comp. In the next tutorial I will try to upload that deep series which we started. So the part 3 will coming very soon, so it will be very nice to see that deep tutorial, because the render I'm getting is very good and it will take some time to do that shading, lighting and rendering. So that's why I'm waiting. Okay, so meanwhile you can check all the action VFX stock footages. They have a pretty nice library, so you can check all the footages and try to achieve some results. So just like I did here, so you can try other sequences. They have many sequences in their library. Hope you guys enjoy, and hope you find this is useful, and I find this technique is very useful when you are doing match move. Basically the 2D match move, if you are trying to achieve, this will give you a very good result. I hope you enjoy. Please let me in the comment, and we will see you in a very next tutorial. Have a great day.